Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, I'm sure most of you guys are intrigued by my headline. I sold altcoins and loaded up on Bitcoin. And that's exactly what I did. But let me explain myself before all the Bitcoin maxis coming in here and telling everyone I told you so. No, there is a reason. And no, I did not sell off all of my altcoins. But I did want to explain why I did what I did, because I do think it's the smarter move. So let's get started. Welcome everyone. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You can see I'm back in my office, almost a week away. It's been a long trip. Feeling tired. You know, the worst part of traveling is traveling. You know, waiting at the airport, dealing with delays and all that stuff. That sucks. It really does. But I am back at home, and I'm able to stream from my usual setup, which makes things a lot easier. All right, so switching back. Here we go. Bitcoin is still at 57,000. It's funny because I still have my, my old charts and stuff up on my computer since, the last time I logged in. And at that point, Bitcoin was at like 51,000. So Bitcoin has gone up more than 10% within the last week or so. Tremendous, tremendous movement. And during that time, I've been telling you guys to watch out for Bitcoin dominance, okay? Specifically, watch the trend if it's going to keep continuing to go higher, and it has. Basically, from 50,000, let's just go 50,000 to where it is now, 57,000. Altcoins, some of our favorites, have not moved an inch while Bitcoin continued to go higher, which is why Bitcoin dominance continues higher, right? So what did I do exactly? Well, before I get into that, let me show you what we may be seeing right now. This is total market cap, okay? And you do have Bitcoin broken out, Ethereum broken out, Cardano, and a few others. But the main thing to look at is Bitcoin dominance, which is in orange. And you can clearly see it's sky high versus all the other dominance out there. All right, so a little history lesson going back to 2017. At the beginning of 2017, Bitcoin dominance was about 85%. Then it dropped dramatically down to about 37%. Hey, and we weren't far off from there. We were hovering around 39%, 40% for a long, long time. And that's when Ethereum dominance rose up to about 31%. So back in 2017, Ethereum obviously had a big spike up, and Bitcoin dominance came down. A lot of altcoins, started going up, and you could see that was about mid-year, so a little bit earlier than what we're seeing now. But Bitcoin went from 38% all the way back up to about 63%. So basically doubled in terms of Bitcoin dominance. And why did that happen? Well, not that the altcoins got weaker. It was just Bitcoin got a lot stronger, and it just sucked out the momentum from all the altcoins. Bitcoin kept going up and up and up and up. In February, Bitcoin was still around like 1,000 or 2,000. So think about Bitcoin went up 10x in 2017, mostly in the last quarter, and that's when Bitcoin dominance went up dramatically. Now, you can see the good news is, well, whether or not you find this good news, but for altcoin holders, it's good news, because after Bitcoin peaked at 20,000, it came back down, and altcoins started rallying hard. But you could see Bitcoin dominance fell even lower to about 33%. But you could see there was definitely a climb as Bitcoin moved into Q4, and as Bitcoin, rose higher and topped out. So now you go back to 2021. Very similar to 2017, because at the beginning of the year, January to be exact, Bitcoin dominance was close to 70%. I don't think you guys remember that. Yes, January of this year Only 10 months ago, Bitcoin dominance was at 70%. That is why had you not been 100% in Bitcoin, if you follow the 50 25 25 rule, you would have made a lot of money and gained a lot on Bitcoin, because since that point 70% all the way down, right? And we went down to 40%, and recently we were as low as like 40%. But you can see that things are starting to swing up again. So it's very similar to the start of 2017 when Bitcoin dominance was higher at that time. It was about 80-something%. It wasn't 70%, but you could see that, yes, we had a big dip with Bitcoin dominance, and then we started coming back up. And right now is feeling like, like this point right here where it's starting to swing up. Now, that doesn't mean that it won't come back down again. Altcoins we know are here to stay. They don't compete with Bitcoin. This is the thing that I don't get about Bitcoin maxis. They just feel like, altcoins, rob of Bitcoin and somehow they compete. They don't. Ethereum doesn't compete with Bitcoin. Solana doesn't compete with Bitcoin. Cardano doesn't compete with Bitcoin. Bitcoin maxis may want you to think that, but no. That's like saying Microsoft competes with gold. Apple competes with trains. Like, the two has nothing to do with each other, okay? So bottom line is this. We could see a resurgence of Bitcoin dominance because we're in Q4, because we know there's a lot of great things happening with Bitcoin, and right, a lot of money could be flowing in, especially with catalysts like Bitcoin ETFs coming aboard. There could be a lot of things coming. It doesn't mean that the altcoins necessarily dump. They could just stay at their current level, but we could see Bitcoin move higher and higher and higher, just like this previous week when Bitcoin went from 51 to 57,000. And tomorrow we could wake up to a 60,000 Bitcoin and altcoins are still the same, right? Again, doesn't mean that you're actually losing money with altcoins by holding long term, but you'll see that the Bitcoin value of your portfolio start going down if you're too heavy into it. So, case in point, this. I haven't showed this in a while, but I was going to make an example. Actually, let me say this first. So, the reason why I decided to sell altcoins, I sold some altcoins and loaded up on Bitcoin. And first of all, no, I did not just like sell all altcoins and load up Bitcoin. That would be silly and that would be stupid, to be quite frank. Right? But just like this portfolio that I built with you guys, which has doubled, yes, it has more than doubled since the beginning back in June when I created this. So it wasn't too long ago. It was only 4 months ago where this portfolio has doubled. So think about that. Okay? In 4 months, it has doubled. So that's not too shabby. And mostly because I bought into altcoins. And there's been high flyers. So when I started this portfolio, Bitcoin was at 50%. And it dropped as low as 30-something%. But recently with Bitcoin coming up in dominance, it has jumped up a little bit. It's about 41%. But still, you could see that it is not at 50%. Despite me adding, I actually DCA'd into Bitcoin, I think, once or twice over these last few months. Despite that, it is still below 50%, and that's because you have Solana that have jumped up so much, and Harmony recently has been jumping up to the moon, right? 24%, 25% in the last 7 days, and others like Cardano and VeChain and Ethereum and Matic, Ecomi, right? Phantom, look at Phantom's up 65%. So you have a lot of good movers, right? And that is why Bitcoin dominance have dropped overall and why the portfolio has doubled within such a short amount of time. So that is exactly what happened to my own portfolio. Because of altcoins, because how heavy I was into them, I mean, I was banking for the last 10 months, right? But the portfolio, the allocation for Bitcoin has shrunk significantly because the others just like this, right? So what I decided to do is sell off a lot of my winners and basically convert it to Bitcoin to try to get it more equal to that 50%, which is what I advise you guys to do. 50% in Bitcoin, 25% in big caps, 25% in small caps. mid to small caps, right? So all I did was rebalance my portfolio. I rebalanced it so that Bitcoin is sitting closer or much closer to 50% because it was off. Not that because I sold off Bitcoin, because the others, the altcoins, have just really taken off, right? And I sold off a lot of winners, but I still have an enormous amount in altcoins. In fact, I would argue 50-50, right? Because the 50-25-25 rule still means that you have 50% in altcoins. So I just want to clear myself. Basically, that's what I did. And I do think that's the smart move, because there are still so many that say I'm 90% in altcoins or 100% in altcoins or 80% in altcoins, right? And when you have good months like the last 10 months, yeah, it's been good. But just be prepared, right? Because the next 3 months, next 5 months, next 6 months, as Bitcoin finds its top, it can be painful, because you'll watch Bitcoin go up, dominance keeps going up, and altcoins not doing a whole lot, right? So I still advise to have a balanced portfolio so that you're prepared for anything. If Bitcoin goes up, great. It'll carry your portfolio. If altcoins go up, great. They're going to carry your portfolio, right? So that's the whole point of having a diversified portfolio, because you pretty much win. You pretty much win at all times. Now, the question some of you guys may have as well, George, what if Bitcoin hits like $200,000, right? Do you then switch into altcoins or more heavily into altcoins when you sense there's a top coming? Because just like 2017, when Bitcoin did have a top, at 20,000, it popped and it started coming down 18, 15,000. That's when altcoins started flying high, right? So to answer that is like yes or no. Yes and no. Okay, you're taking a risk. You're taking a risk because if we do have a blow off top event like that, where we shoot up to 200, 250,000, there could be a correction around the corner. So to all of a sudden, switch back heavily into altcoins, probably not advisable at that point. There could be a lot of money flowing out, but I think at that point, because of how fast it's gone up, it's better to just have what you have and make sure you have enough cash on the side in case it corrects. Now, if it doesn't and the market continues to go up and up and up, then yeah, you can go back, I would say a little bit heavier into altcoins, but still, I think the 50-25-25 rule really applies in all situations, right? It just works. It does. And people that follow it have told me it works. Like this week, it worked. Even when things are going up, it works. So there you go. So yeah, that's what I did. I think at this point in time, after this week of nothing but goodness for Bitcoin, right? I think it's starting to show the same signs as what we saw in 2017. So I do think to go back close to that 50% or 50% in Bitcoin is smart. Now, if you have more than 50%, that's fine. You want to be 100% in Bitcoin, that's fine. If you want to be 75% in Bitcoin, that is fine. Bitcoin is still king, will always be king. And the only crypto that I'm 100% certain will be around 10 plus years from now. And I can't say that for any other crypto out there. All right. So with that said, what else is there? There's a few things I want to talk about real quick, and then I'll just get to Q&A. I want to keep tonight short and sweet. Someone that's still not a fan of Bitcoin is Jamie Dimon, who came out and said he still believes Bitcoin is worthless. He doesn't care if it keeps going up. He thinks it's worthless. And he also thinks that his opinion is worthless because it doesn't matter. People want it, and that is why his bank offers it, which is very different to what he said before in 2017 when he said if he catches anyone in JP Morgan dealing with Bitcoin, they would be fired on the spot. Seems like that's not the case anymore. So not everyone has converted, I should say. Not everyone is a fan, but Jamie has no choice but to cave in to what people want, and that's the right move. What else is there? There's someone new called Alan Ayu that came out with a new model to cover or predict Bitcoin's top and bottom. It's very similar to Will Komet's model. But anyways, looking at this and looking at where Bitcoin is, where it has gone before, he's also predicting a cycle top between 260,000 and 410,000. That's a big jump. Oh, that's a big gap, first of all. But 410,000, that's not far-fetched. Citibank has called 400,000 Bitcoin. Kathy Wood has called 400,000 Bitcoin. So, can we possibly just keep going and going and going and not see that correction after 200,000? Maybe. Maybe we just have the extended cycle like many predicted. We just keep going and going and going, right? Maybe. It's definitely an exciting time. Will did say that, hey, whales that own between 100 and 1,000 Bitcoins are starting to increase their holdings again. Interesting, because all other entities below 100 have been stacking sats, stacking Bitcoins, and now the big whales are starting to do the same as well. Maybe not the biggest whales. The biggest whales above 1,000 Bitcoin, right? They have been stacking for quite a bit. So this is like medium-sized whales. And then lastly, of course, TechDev wants to remind us that if we're following the same pattern as 2017 in terms of market cap, okay, this is what we're going to see. This is exactly what we're going to see. So October, as good as it has been, right, is nothing compared to November and December and possibly January if we do have that money moving into altcoins. Because yes, in 2017, the most bullish time, right, started about mid-November going into January, like mid-January. So if you think right now has been good, just buckle up, because come November and December, man, could make days like this, make weeks like the last week seem forgettable, to say the least, right? So wait for this. I told you guys to hold strong the whole year, despite the up and downs. I told you guys, if you missed out an entire 4-year cycle, and if you missed out and sat on the sidelines, the 3 months that you don't want to be sitting out is the last 3 months of this year, October, November, December. I've said that before. I'll stick with it. Just wait to see what's coming. And lastly, FTX finally opened up their NFT marketplace. And the interesting thing is, only Solana NFTs are available on there. Not Ethereum, but Solana. Of course, I think that makes a whole lot of sense, right? Because Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX, he's a big Solana supporter, so this makes sense. But it'll be interesting to see if he opens this up to other NFTs from other NFT marketplaces. All right, that is it. Short and sweet. Bitcoin is going higher. And you know what? I decided to load up more on Bitcoin because I think we're going to see something very similar with Bitcoin dominance going up, just like 2017. All right, guys. Let's do some Q&A. Redman, that is 100% false. Don't spread lies. Redman says, with diversified portfolio, you lose all the time. I'll tell you what, I certainly didn't lose, and I was diversified. So don't be spreading lies. What about the monthly code? You know what? It's a good time. It's a good time to give the monthly code. That is a good idea. So hold on, guys. I'm going to pull it up. This is why you guys don't want to miss any of my streams. Okay, so monthly code for October. I gave out 4 codes already. Okay, so this will be the 5th one. Okay, get ready. Because I'm only going to say it once. And I'm never going to say this again. So, this month's code for my contest is 2. 2. Okay? The number is 2. And I'm not going to say it again. And in case you're wondering, what the hell are you talking about? Well, this is what I'm talking about. You go to my Twitter, and then you'll see I pinned this for since April, okay? 5 ETH giveaway, which could be very, very, very costly on my part. But I'm doing it to spread awareness about my brand, about my social media channels, and so forth, right? So in this contest, the biggest entry is this. 6 months secret code, you get 200 entries. That is by far the biggest one, and I've gave out 5 digits already, and there's one more coming next month, right? But in case you missed it or whatever, you could rewatch my old videos, but there are other ways to win. Of course, just by having 1 entry, you could still win, but there's this other one, the video secret code that I've been showing you guys a lot of in the past. I'll show it again. But that gives you 100 entries. All right, so go ahead, guys, join in. 644,000 entries already. There's only 81 days left. And plus, beside the 5 ETH, you also get 4,000 nulls. And just so you know, this is not one person winning 5 ETH. It's 5 lucky winners with 1 ETH each. So this is not one of those contests where only one person wins. There's going to be 5 winners. And a nulls winner will also be a 6th winner. So there's going to be 6 people winning, right? So there you go. There you go. You can find this on my Twitter page. All right. There you go. That's the monthly code. Brett asks, BPro mainnet is set to launch this month. Okay. Thanks for the update. Diego asks, should I sell Litecoin to buy Bitcoin? And I'll answer that question with this. There's no scenario where I find that I would rather hold Litecoin than Bitcoin. So hopefully that answers that. Butch asks, what do you think about Ergo? Partnered with Samsung. Yeah, I don't know much about it. You're listing all these companies. I have many reservations whether or not those partnerships are actually legit or there's some small, you know, I don't know. I don't know if they're really partnerships that could carry the project. Let's just put it that way. But I don't know too much about the project. Should I sell my Zcash? I don't like Sandeep. I don't like any privacy coins. And the reason being because all the exchanges are going to be pressured to delist them because of the governments. That's why. Hostile, appreciate it. Oh boy. Big spider. Just running around. Thoughts on ADAX? I'm still waiting for it to be complete. That's my thoughts. Top video, you're just moving. I don't know. You decide if you should move into Bitcoin because it sounds like you have 0 in Bitcoin. So if you have 0 in Bitcoin, you should seriously think about diversification and getting some Bitcoin and trying to follow the 50-25-25 rule. So I think that's going to help you in the long run. The Hucksters ask, while BTC dominance climb, will alts actually fall in price a bit or stay stagnant? Yeah, it doesn't mean that they'll go fall in price. In fact, it can mean that they still go up. It doesn't mean that they're always going to be red like this. It could be in green. For example, Ethereum has been going up. It just has not been going up as fast as Bitcoin. That's the thing. So Bitcoin dominance climbing does not mean that the alts will sell off. It could just mean that they stay stagnant. Or it could mean they go up, but they just don't go up as much as Bitcoin. That's the thing to remember. Origin token. That's the one with... There's so many origins. Is it Origin Protocol? Or are you talking about something else? Origin Protocol is an NFT marketplace, or just decentralized marketplace in general. They lost a lot of momentum. They gained a lot because they were trying to get NFTs, which they did. They got some artists on there, but they lost a lot of momentum since then. What do you think about XRP and how the lawsuit? What? If they win the lawsuit, great. Ripple, I wish Ripple wins the lawsuit so SEC doesn't overstep. But yeah, that could be a catalyst for them to go up for sure. Man, the FOMO is real tonight, Ninja says. Cisco, I had people do that, especially if they miss one or something. Bushido asks, if you're working 9 to 5, getting in on the alts while they bleed against Bitcoin is more enticing, and then take those profits into BTC for risk mitigation. Getting into altcoins while they bleed against Bitcoin is more enticing. I don't think so. No. Anytime you're not gaining, okay, as fast as Bitcoin, you're losing. I've said this too on the declines too. When things sell off, a lot of times, let's say the market corrects, right? Bitcoin will correct less than altcoins. So that's also a reason why you want to have 50% in Bitcoin, because it helps protect your portfolio, so you don't lose as much BTC. So I don't know what you said is correct. Have you heard of Raul Paul's 40K ETH prediction? I mean, it doesn't seem likely, but maybe 10x. That's like 15x, right? Or 12x or whatever. If Bitcoin goes up 5, 6, 7x, sure, there's an off chance. Off chance it could happen. But I say first things first. Can I hit 10,000? I think so. After that, let's see. It really depends on how much FOMO there is after Bitcoin hits 100,000. I mean, honestly, that's what it comes down to. Pojak, I just answered your question. All right, I lost my order here. All right. Lisa, thank you. What do you think about Veracity and rumors of partner with Twitter and going on Binance Q4? Going on Binance Q4 is wouldn't be unreasonable. So sure, that can happen. And if it happens, they'll probably pump them up. Rumors of partnering up with Twitter, who knows? There's a lot of rumors out there. Walmart buying, Bitcoin, Apple buying Bitcoin. There's a lot of rumors out there. It doesn't mean that it's actually true. So, but can they get listed on Binance? Sure. Can they continue to grow? Sure. What do you think about Harmony One pumping out to 25 cents and DeFi Kingdoms and I don't know what the other one is? I like it. Sure. I don't know what you want me to say. Yes, I like it. I like the fact that it's gone up. It helped my portfolio. I showed you guys earlier. And it's probably due to DeFi Kingdoms or other NFT projects. That's probably what it is. Frazzle, I already showed it. Rewind. Wayne, welcome. Appreciate it. Monica, thank you. Do I hold any XRP at this point in time? No. I did before? No. Do I own any Doge? No. Bushido, yes, that's exactly what I did. People have selective hearing. What are your thoughts on Voyager? Some people still say $30. Voyager is an enigma, okay? When I first covered Voyager, I thought, okay, promising exchange, right? Pretty good. But, and then it just blew up. It blew up like crazy, right? I'm like, great, it blew up. And then I thought, okay, it settled down, right? With this new token exchange, with their new loyalty program, and actually creates a use case for VGX. I thought it would do well, but then no. It got worse afterwards. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what drove it up in the first place. Voyager VGX, before this loyalty program, really had no use case. The company has stock, but they have very good fundamentals. They're based in New York, right? And Steven seems to be a very smart guy. They have a lot of coins on there, and you get basically staking rewards without actually needing to stake. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff about Voyager, but there was really no reason to hold VGX until recently. But then after they created a reason, it actually made it worse for somehow. I don't know. So can it get to $30? I mean, let's see where it is. It's, what, $2? Could they go 10x? Sure, it could. A little bit more than 10x. Maybe 223 would be more reasonable. But yeah, it depends on if they get that momentum and catch on fire again. But I would say most promising altcoins have a good 5 to 10x upshot because Bitcoin probably has at least a 3 to 5x. Steven, I said that already. Answer that question. Can VeChain still hit 75 cents to $1? Yes. Yes, it can. 10x would be $1, 75 cents, 7.5x. Yeah, it can happen. OMI is starting to gain traction because of their move to Immutable X. So they've been selling a lot of great NFTs already, but their move to Immutable X and Ethereum is going to be a big thing. Big thing. So I think that's why they've recently started gaining some traction. So that's a very good thing. Red Baron, I don't know if you're just trolling or not. I have no idea what that is. All right, last few things. We need some Porsche videos. I've not been able to get any Porsches for drivers only, so I don't know. I may be going to a driving event. Maybe they have some Porsches, but I have no Porsche relationship with the manufacturer or with the dealerships, so I don't know. They're kind of snobby about it. All right, I'll let you guys go. Hey, overall, just so you guys don't misunderstand, what did I sell? I took profits on the high-flying altcoins, rebalanced my portfolio, and got Bitcoin back up close to 50%, right? This is what I advise you guys to do, 50, 25, 25, right? 50% of Bitcoins, 25% of big caps, 25% of small to mid caps, right? So I decided to rebalance my portfolio, but that rebalance was significant. It was pretty big. It was actually very, very big. And that's because over the last 10 months, altcoins have been running sky high. And just like this portfolio I built with you guys, you know, this share of my portfolio in BTC dropped significantly to a small amount. And decided to up that because I do think that's important going forward, especially if Bitcoin dominance keeps climbing. Even if it doesn't, even if altcoins start climbing again, so what? 50% of my portfolio is still in altcoins, so it doesn't really matter. Either way, you win. You protect yourself from both sides, and I like being protected. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, usual time, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time.